Every morning, millions of people wake up, reach for their phones, and scroll through their daily horoscope. They look for guidance. They look for a reason behind their sudden anxiety. Most of all, they look for a comforting validation of who they are. But what if the very thing you believe defines your unique personality is actually the exact blueprint of an invisible prison? You sit at a coffee shop, laughing as you blame an impulsive decision on being a fiery Aries, or your emotional distance on an independent Aquarius. It feels completely harmless. But every time you say, "That is just how I am, it is my sign," you are unknowingly tightening the locks on a psychological cage. You are willingly accepting a cosmic barcode stamped onto your consciousness, designed to keep your reactions entirely predictable. If you have ever felt a quiet friction when the world tries to categorize your entire existence into 12 neat little boxes, if you know your inner depth is far too vast to be reduced to a weekly reading, you are already seeing the cracks in the illusion. You are not here by accident. You felt the pull to look past the comforting distractions of pop astrology. The ancient mystics knew a truth intentionally erased from modern culture. They did not view the 12 zodiac signs as a fun personality quiz. To the early seekers of hidden knowledge, this glittering wheel of stars was known as Heimarmene, the iron web of destiny, the ultimate matrix of karmic repetition. To wear your zodiac sign as a badge of honor is to unknowingly celebrate the very mechanism designed to keep your infinite self asleep. There is a much deeper layer to the stars you were born under. It is time to peel back the veil and see what is actually governing your horoscope. Look at your smartphone. Every app you open, every video you linger on, feeds an invisible algorithm. It learns your daily habits. It predicts your next purchase. It knows exactly what triggers your anger and soothes your mind. We accept this digital tracking as modern reality. Yet we completely ignore the ancient, cosmic algorithm running in the background of human consciousness since the dawn of time. You call it your birth chart. The ancients called it the wheel of compulsion. When you proudly declare your Taurus energy makes you stubborn or your Gemini placement makes you endlessly restless, you are not describing your true eternal soul. You are reciting lines of code. You are reading the user manual of your own avatar. These zodiac traits are not your core identity. They are specific gravitational pulls, emotional buttons installed to make you react exactly as programmed. Step back and observe your own life. You might notice a familiar pattern, the same toxic relationship dynamic repeating, the same sudden spike of unexplainable anxiety, the same exhausting cycle of burnout. Is that really you, or is that the machinery working exactly as intended? This invisible tracking is not a new concept. Hidden texts discovered in the Egyptian desert reveal a dangerous truth from 2,000 years ago about this exact machinery. In the secret teachings of the Apocryphon of John, the architects of this material world crafted a profound trap for human awareness. The text reveals, "They brought fate into being, and it is the hardest and strongest of all fetters." This fate was not some romantic, beautiful destiny. It was Heimarmene, a celestial net woven from the 12 signs of the zodiac. Its sole purpose was to induce a deep spiritual amnesia, to make you forget the boundless light you come from, and convince you that you are nothing more than a bundle of predictable astrological neuroses. Right now, you are at a crucial vantage point. You can keep playing the character the stars assigned you, or you can start noticing the puppet strings. The moment you observe a sudden surge of anger and realize, "This is the code, this is not me," the fetter begins to crack. You stop being a passive subject of the experiment. You become the anomaly the system can no longer predict. But if the zodiac is the prison, Who exactly built it? And more importantly, who is standing guard at the unseen gates of your mind right now? For centuries, humanity has stared at the night sky, trusting those glowing spheres as our mystical guides. We are conditioned to view them as a map to our highest self. But what if that vast, glittering expanse is not a map at all? What if it is simply the illuminated ceiling of a cosmic prison? In ancient Gnostic wisdom, the planets and constellations governing your birth chart were not friendly archetypes. They were recognized as the Archons, the unseen wardens of this material construct. Modern pop astrology romanticizes these forces. It tells you to lean into your moon sign's chaotic mood swings or your rising sign's defensive masks. It sells the illusion that your planetary ruler is your cosmic ally. But every time a planetary transit dictates your emotional state, every time you say, "Mercury retrograde is making me anxious," you surrender your sovereign will to these wardens. You are paying the toll at an invisible spiritual checkpoint. They do not want your money. They feed on your predictable emotional output. It is time to stop feeding the machine. The next time you feel that familiar surge of your so-called Zodiac personality, a sudden spike of jealousy, a wave of deep isolation, or a flare of defensive pride, do not claim it. Stop for exactly 3 seconds, take a slow, deliberate breath, and mentally step backward. See that emotion as a dark, heavy wave crashing against a thick pane of glass. You are not the wave. You are the silent, untouchable presence, standing safely behind it, watching it dissolve. By observing the trigger without becoming it, you starve the matrix of destiny. You deny the code its power. This inner rebellion is not a modern psychological trick. It is an ancient spiritual weapon. The Gospel of Mary hints at this moment of liberation. It describes the awakened soul moving past the blind forces of the world, boldly declaring, "I was released from a world, and from the chain of forgetfulness that is temporary." This is how you shatter the chain. You stop identifying with the temporary software installed in your mind. You are reclaiming the sovereign territory of your consciousness. But unhooking yourself from your horoscope is only the first phase of awakening. Once you stop playing by the rigid rules of the 12 signs, the system notices. The illusion will try to pull you back in. And the ultimate deception keeping millions trapped is hidden inside a concept you have been taught to respect your entire life. Deep inside a massive, heavily guarded fortress, past rows of cold iron bars, sits a room made entirely of solid gold. The bed is lined with pure silk. The prisoner inside is completely mesmerized by the luxury. They do not even realize the heavy door is locked from the outside. Because they are so comfortable, they have absolutely no desire to escape. This is the hidden danger of the so-called good placements in your birth chart. We are constantly conditioned to fear the hard aspects of our horoscope. We dread our Saturn squares and brace for difficult eclipses. But we celebrate when Jupiter enters our house of wealth, or when Venus promises a flawless romance. We view it as a cosmic blessing. Through the lens of ancient Gnostic wisdom, your astrological good fortune is actually the most effective anesthetic the system has ever designed. A golden cage is still a cage. Suffering occasionally forces a sleeping soul to wake up and question reality. But comfort guarantees that you will never look for the exit. When your astrological transits bring unexpected success or intense material pleasure, the unseen wardens of this matrix are not rewarding your spiritual growth. They are simply upgrading your cell. They are feeding you the exact chemical cocktail needed to keep your consciousness sedated. You may have spent years trying to manifest perfect astrological alignments, waiting patiently for the stars to grant you ease. But as you hear these words, A different kind of awareness is shifting inside you. You are no longer identifying as a helpless subject begging the sky for favors. You realize that asking the Matrix for a better experience is still giving the Matrix ultimate authority over your existence. The hidden sayings of the Gospel of Thomas cut straight through this dualistic trap. The ancient text whispers, "Whoever has come to understand the world has found only a corpse, and whoever has found a corpse is superior to the world." The beautiful blessings of your zodiac chart are just glittering fragments of that same material corpse. As long as you are attached to the gifts the Wheel of Destiny gives you, you remain entirely vulnerable to the tragedies it will inevitably bring. Because the wheel always turns. If this wheel is truly a trap, a massive question remains. How did humanity forget? How did the ultimate blueprint of our containment become the most celebrated spiritual tool on the planet? If you are a soldier, trapped behind enemy lines, a map of the hostile territory is your most valuable asset. You do not study it to build a comfortable house in a minefield. You study it to locate the hidden traps and navigate your way out alive. This was the original, closely guarded purpose of astrology. Thousands of years ago, initiates of the ancient mystery schools did not look at the planets to find their soulmate or achieve career success. They observed the glittering wheel of the Zodiac to understand the precise mechanics of their prison. They mapped the visible planets and constellations because they recognized them as celestial toll houses, the checkpoints of the Archons. They knew an ascending soul must pass through these specific energetic gates, with each ruling entity demanding a piece of its spiritual sovereignty. But the unseen architects of this matrix are infinitely clever. To stop the escapes, they did not burn the map, they simply changed the legend. Over centuries, the system subtly inverted this knowledge. The ultimate escape route was rebranded into a user manual for the human ego. The warning signs of Heimarmene were rewritten as charming personality quirks and daily horoscopes. They took the exact blueprint of your spiritual containment and convinced you to buy it, wear it, and proudly identify with it. Think about the sheer, terrifying brilliance of that deception. The wardens convinced the prisoners to fiercely defend the iron bars that hold them in. The ancient Corpus Hermeticum documents this exact struggle. It describes the awakened soul's upward journey through the cosmic spheres. To break free, the initiate must consciously strip off the energetic garments placed upon them by the planets. You leave behind the arrogance of the sun, the dark illusions of the moon, the desires of the lower spheres. You do not embrace these astrological energies. You actively shed them like dead weight. You are not meant to harmonize with your birth chart. You are meant to dismantle it. As you absorb this erased history, the conditioning of 1,000 lifetimes is starting to fracture. You are finally looking at the astrological map through the eyes of the true initiate. But realizing the map was weaponized against you is only the precursor to the final revelation. The ultimate trap keeping you here has nothing to do with your daily personality. It is hidden inside a much larger lie about your soul's supposed eternal debt. There is a comforting lie sold by the modern spiritual community. It sounds beautiful. Earth is a grand school, and your birth chart is the syllabus. We are told our Saturn return is a harsh but necessary teacher. We are conditioned to believe our North Node dictates the karmic lessons our soul must master. But look closer at this cosmic classroom. If the curriculum is endless, if cycles of pain, loss, and anxiety repeat lifetime after lifetime, is it actually a school? Or is it a beautifully decorated containment zone? This is the sharpest truth to swallow. The New Age movement has repackaged the ancient trap of Heimarmene into soul contracts and karmic debt. When you believe your zodiac placements represent a flaw you must fix or a debt you owe the universe, you sign a contract with your captors. You step back onto the hamster wheel. The architects of this matrix do not need to punish you. They simply convince you that you are fundamentally broken, that you need more time, more lifetimes, and more lessons to become whole. In the suppressed text of the Pistis Sophia, this deception is laid bare. The rulers of the spheres give the descending soul a draft of forgetfulness. They hand you a script, the astrological wheel, and a counterfeit spirit, tricking you into believing these artificial desires are your true personality. They make you believe the iron cage is your own skin. Listen closely. You do not need to learn how to be divine. You do not owe a single ounce of karmic debt to the stars. You are a pre-existent, sovereign spark of the infinite light that existed long before the first constellation was formed. The moment you stop trying to heal your birth chart and recognize it as an artificial overlay, the walls of the classroom dissolve. You are no longer a struggling student trying to pass a cosmic exam. You become the architect of your escape. The astrological wheel relies entirely on your belief in its authority. When you withdraw your consent, the ancient gears stop turning. But walking out of this illusion requires leaving behind the comfortable labels you have worn for so long. Stepping out of the cosmic matrix is not for the faint of heart. It takes profound courage to look at the glittering wheel of Heimarmene and finally say, I am done playing this game. If this transmission awakened that ancient knowing, leave your mark below. Do not tell me your sun, moon, or rising sign. Instead, declare your independence. Write, I break the wheel, as a permanent record of your sovereignty. If you are ready to unravel the illusion, subscribe to join this hidden circle of seekers and like this transmission to signal your awakening to those still blindly searching. We do not worship the stars. We dismantle the very sky that binds us, step out of the chaotic noise of the modern world, and into the silent sanctuary of your awakened mind. This is our hidden chamber. Here, the planets hold no gravity over your eternal soul. The moon does not dictate your peace, and no planetary transit can ever breach your sovereign borders. You have carried the limiting armor of your horoscope for far too long. It is time to let it fall to the floor. Before you leave, perform one final act of rebellion. Take one slow, deliberate breath. Center yourself in the absolute stillness behind your thoughts. Now repeat this silent mantra to yourself. I am not the script of the stars. I am the pre-existent, sovereign spark. I claim total authority over my consciousness, and I step off the wheel of fate. Let that realization ignite inside you like a blinding, inextinguishable flame. Let its heat burn away the cosmic barcode you were assigned at birth. The iron cage is unlocked. The unseen wardens have lost their most predictable prisoner. Guard that inner fire fiercely, and I will see you in the true light, just beyond the veil.